Motionless, not moving at all there. So definitely not easy for me to go through that, turn around and see our captain down on the ice. And I think as a whole throughout the league, you're trying to respond to these types of incidents. And obviously, I got the guy a little high. I understand there was some discipline that needed to be done there. Just felt like on my side, I felt like it was pretty excessive for the comparables, the history, my career, a lot of things really that played into it, and we're still going through that right now. So.
Did you think it was him? That he had something to do with it?
Yeah, of course. Like, I would not have just randomly jumped someone. When you see me looking back the second time around, he's kind of got one knee down. He's between Larks on top of Larks, kind of, and honestly, like usually these scrums when they happen, it's almost like it's a 5-on-5 thing. It happens really quickly in your head, and you're trying to respond accordingly and the right way. And yeah, like it didn't turn out too good. I think I could understand something that needed to happen there, but again, just felt like 6 was way too many.
How much can you get into like what the league told you about the decision to go with 6 games?
It's still going through it, so it's tough to mention some of the stuff, but I just felt like it was pretty clear cut on all the comparables and everything. In that regard, it wasn't something that needed to be that high for sure.
David, any frustration with the appeals process? I mean, you had already served 5 games by the time it was heard.
Yeah, there's some frustration on the process, but at the same time, you have to respect the precedent that it creates for the NHLPA, and then you flip on the NHL side. I mean, obviously, I respected that Gary took the time to meet with me, as well as Bill Daly, all the lawyers on our side. Steve flew over with me, my agent. Like, I don't know, there was like 10, 15 people there. George Perros was there. We talked for 3 hours, really, and it was just an official appeal. Like, it needed to be pretty serious. We took it very seriously, and we hope that the result come out of it, and it makes more sense. Right now, it's more for record and money, but that's what's disappointing for sure. I think on Steve's side and the organization, Chris Illich, all that, you want to be there for your team to play the games.
Did you get a sense that the league factors in what happened with Dylan right before as context? What
I can stand up. By the way, sorry, you usually don't. Sorry.
Do you get a sense that the league factors in as context what happened with Dylan right before, or do they just look at your play kind of in a vacuum, if that makes sense?
It's tough for me to answer that one. I don't want to put words into what they factor as far as the Dylan incident. I respect the process, to be honest. I want to see where it comes out of it. I think they do understand that a response in the league, the way things are right now, right or wrong, there's a response that needs to be done there right away, and we assume that all 31 other teams would do something there for sure.
Did you reach out to Zub at all, or did you try to at all? Or?
Not directly to him. I feel like because there was no injury, literally was out there the next shift. After the incident, there was like a little bit of pause. And then as it goes on, you see that it's the same thing. So I did not know.
The fact that he didn't get injured and finished the rest of the game, did that surprise you that the punishment was what it was for a guy that didn't get hurt?
Oh, that's usually a factor for sure. I mean, I'm not going in there trying to get him in the head. Let's be honest. I'm not trying to injure anyone. Like, personally, on a personal level, I missed close to 2 seasons worth of games of head, neck, concussion, all that stuff, and like even tonight there'll be a situation I go to hit someone and you're trying to be physical, you're trying to play the right way, you're trying to win the game. Doesn't mean I'm trying to go out there and hurt the guy. I never want to do that. I want to make that very clear. And it's the same thing there. I go in there, I kind of get him just above the arm as you raise. Sorry, I raise his arm, and the stick rides up really quickly in his head. It does get him in the head, like I said. From the penalty box to skating over in the room, all that, I kind of expected maybe something would come out of that. I think that was totally fine for sure. It's just kind of the way when I heard it was in person, all that, and I started looking at 2 other comparables with the NHLP and all that. That's where I thought it was even the in-person thing. I thought it was too too intense.
How tough has it been these last 6 games, sitting and
Yeah.
watching?
Oh, it's tough. I think especially with kind of the way it happened, the way everything went down. But I'm just looking forward to get back, honestly, and help on it any way I can. I know I can make a difference as far as the energy in the room, on the ice, on the bench, and just keep the guys kind of looking ahead, bringing momentum to the team in different ways, and I'm going to try and do that tonight.
So you finished the hearing around 7, is that right? You said 3 hours? 7 o'clock Tuesday?
Yeah, probably. I don't
So
know.
did you
I don't-
travel to Winnipeg?
The next morning I did, yeah.
You were hoping to hear that maybe,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, we felt like it was unlikely that we would hear.
Yeah.
Just understanding the NHL side of things, respecting the process. Again, it's a big precedent for them too. If they make a decision in a somewhat number of hours, and then the rest of the way from now on, teams are going to expect that. So I know they have a lot of things to sort out on their side, and I don't really have comment on that. It's their decision.
If they uphold it, will you go to an independent arbitrator appeal that take it?
Well, I'll wait for the decision there. Yeah.
How good will it be to get David Perron back?
Very good. Obviously, again, it continues to add our depth, probably a lineup of where this was expected to be, and slots people even more correctly. But he's a naturally competitive guy. He's an energy guy. And when things aren't going our way, the more of that you can have is a positive.
Is that one of the things you've been missing these last few games, just that fire, the competitiveness?
I think there's a little of that. We've talked about energy levels. I give our guys a little credit the other day in that we talked about cleaning some things up and having a focus in the first, and we did. And then it just, what found us in the second was disappointing. And it's not only we have blow-ups, we had screaming blow-ups that were easy offense. Asked the guys to stay positive and push in the third, and they did that. So, now we're going to ask them again today to get out of this, simplify things, clean up some things in the D zone, stay positive, find some energy correctly, and hopefully it goes in the right direction here.
Are the defensive lapses a little frustrating?
Very.
You just can't quite wrap your hands around
You
it?
can, it's just, you saw us, this is 2 weeks ago, we're talking about a shutout, a 1-goal game, 2-goal game. It's frustrating in that the last 2 games have been very similar in some ways, where underlying numbers, we're in Winnipeg, it's a really good team, and it's a 50-50 game. Chances are very similar. A road game against that, if you look at the underlying numbers, we would take that. Our problem is we're similar in chances for, chances against with our opponent, but our chances were egregious. And it's not a lot of them, but there's 2 or 3 finding. Again, you look at the Anaheim game, we should have won that game if you look at the underlying numbers, but again, a couple of just egregious mistakes early on. So you lose a little confidence. I think it shows up a little bit in some details, and that's that D zone. So opportunity to clean some of that up tonight.
Who's out on defense tonight?
We're undecided yet. It's that time of year. We've had a lot of games. We've had some bumps and bruises and some sickness. So we might even warm up 7 guys in warm-ups.
And his Lyon didn't skate today. Is he
Lyon
out
did not
for,
skate.
So
We
he's out.
will not see him before Christmas.
What do you see with Phil?
What's that?
What do you see with Phil?
Smart, simple. When we had our little run there of 6 of 7, that's how we looked. Not a lot of risk in their game. They defend properly. They were very comfortable in that 1-0 game the other day. They didn't create a ton. They did not give up a ton, and they were comfortable getting that bounce. They're playing with good structure. They're playing with confidence. They're comfortable being in a tight game. I think when you ask what do you see and feel, I think you saw it all when they beat us 1-0 in their building. So it would be on us tonight to be a little harder in some areas.
Do you like getting a team so soon again after you've just seen them, or?
Yeah, good question. In that it's easy to reflect back on. We've had 4 straight losses. our best defensive game was at Philly. So there's some things we can tap into that game because our last two defensive games were not great. So yeah, I think there's probably some positives, just more on the familiarity of who you're seeing again.
Derek, where do you think Sider's game is at right now? It seems like certain evenings maybe
Yeah,
there's been a
it's-
few struggles here.
That's a great question. It's, I think Max asked the other night, I think he had 17 minutes. A lot of that reflect 12 minutes of power play against Anaheim, and obviously we had the goalie pulled at the end. But he's probably reflecting their group in that confidence thing, in that even the other night there were some moments he was excellent, but his fingerprints were on some of those big mistakes we've had. So, he probably reflects a lot of our top guys, which I think we can all see that, and I think even those top guys would be cognizant of that.
If, after tomorrow, Patrick will play 10 games with you.
Yep.
And how do you kind of look at his build-up, ramp-up? Obviously,
It's been good. It's really unfortunate that we've hit this skid with him. I think it's more coincidental. He's had his fingerprints on some defensive mishaps like a lot of our guys have, but obviously our lineup was in a unique situation, our schedule was in a unique situation. Maybe his best game the other day, I thought he had a little more detail in his zone, which we asked all of our guys to do, and he cashed it. He was 1-1, and he set us up for some other opportunities too. If he can give us that and continue forward with that, with our full lineup here, I think that's a positive for us.
you get surprised at all about how well, I mean, it seems like coming off hip surgery and everything like that, we hear the warnings, but it seems he's not one of those guys who's, when you play 3 and 4, you have the back-to-back, it doesn't look like he's ailing on night 2 or
And
anything like that.
I've been very impressed and surprised
Yeah.
on where he's been physically. And it was really unfair to him when he came in. We had our top 2 centers out. We had a plan of limiting his ice time, and because we were in these tight games, chasing some of these tight games, he played some back-to-backs of 20 minutes. And probably a little unfair to him, probably not the best managing of him, but that's where our lineup was. We had 4 players out, 3 of our top 6, 3 of our power play guys. It was a reality of it, and I thought he handled it extremely well.
When all those guys were out, do you think you tried to do too much almost, or kind of?
I would say so. I think our whole group was. Once we were out, it was very frustrating that, us 3 in a row, and they're all 1-goal games that we could have easily flipped. And then we go in a game the other day, we actually probably had a pretty good focus and determination, the best we've had maybe in 3-4 games in that first period against Winnipeg, and then it piled up on us and we fell apart. It was just some egregious easy offense in the second. We lost that game in a 10-12 minute window.
Are you certain, Reimer tonight, I'm assuming, and then are you certain about tomorrow?
No,
yet?
we're gonna see how tonight goes. I would love to sit here and play a really good defensive game and see where the volume is on James, and kind of go from there.
When it comes to kind of managing that kind of goalie impact, like I know it's kind of, I think we've talked before, it's kind of more than after. Does it change the equation when, no matter what, he's gonna have 3 days, he's gonna have 3 days off after tomorrow?
No, good question. No, I don't think. I think it's more the front end. We've been playing so much hockey. I think it'd be really tough to ask any goalie to play 3 and 4 in 3 different cities where he is in his career. But it's just where we've been and unable to find some wins. Unique situation with 2 rostered goalies out with injury. Again, I think it's more the front end than the back end. So we'll see how it goes tonight and make a decision post game.
With Michael, what are some of the things that you obviously had him in camp, and the situation that gets him signed here? What are the things that you kind of learned about him from camp that you knew now when he came in?
Experience, NHL goalie
Yeah.
experience. Again, for us, I don't care who you are. Anyone in the league has 2 of their goalies, and at the time of those injuries, that's our number 1 and number 2. To be out and out available for you, and for us to be able to start James Reimer and to have a backup in Hutch, we feel very fortunate, all considering. So I think just what you see in Hutch's experience, and we have full confidence in giving him the net tomorrow.
With it having been a season of sort of extended hot streaks and then extended cold streaks, like swinging back and forth like that, is there something in particular you attribute that to, or is it just sort of an inevitable?
Yeah, I think we still got to mature as a team. We knew this was going to be a tough stretch. It got compounded with an egregious amount of top guys out, but we still didn't handle it well. There was points to be had out there. We needed to get those. Everyone in the entire league is going to go through this, and the teams that start to funnel themselves towards the top handle these situations. And we have 2 more opportunities to do that. Obviously, we have not to this point.